Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my neon mosaic piece out of index cards. Of course, you could use literally any color of index card and do whatever type of theme you want. But what I'm just gonna start out with doing is painting my canvas black. And sorry if there's like random cuts throughout it or my hand is in front of it the whole time. It just like overexposes whenever I didn't do that. So I did that just to hopefully keep the light more even so that it wasn't flashing all the time, as well as there's just random cuts where it did flash a lot. The next thing I did while I was waiting for my paint to dry was gather all of my index cards. I got these neon ones. I have no clue where I got them. I got them a really long time ago for school, but I never ended up using them. And started drawing some triangles on them. If you do this, I recommend drawing on the other side, because drawing on the side that is going to be seen just wasn't a good idea. But I basically just went through and made a whole bunch of triangles. There's really no like rhyme or reason to this. Just, you can make whatever shapes you want as well. But I just decided on making a whole bunch of triangles, which was a bit challenging at times when it was hard to get like that perfect triangle shape out of what I had. In the end, I ended up having a few extra pieces left, and there are some pieces on the canvas that just don't fit together the best, but that's because I just put them together one time and I didn't like take them apart and move pieces around, but I think it still looked pretty good. But yeah, so that's just your next step, is to make your shapes. So after I got all of my triangles drawn out, I just took a pair of scissors and started cutting on the lines, and I gathered them all up together so that I would just have to cut through that first set of lines that I drew. You could do different lines on all different cards if you wanted to, but I just did this because I thought it would be easiest, and honestly it was what was easiest. So yeah, that's basically just the next step, is cut out your shapes. Then I just lined all of my shapes up on the canvas however I wanted them, and I didn't glue them down or anything. I just put them wherever I wanted so I could see how it would look before I made anything permanent. The next step was to Mod Podge or glue all of the triangles down. So is what I thought I was gonna do was just put some Mod Podge on the back of the triangle and then put it back down where I originally had it, but then I realized that that was like super hard to do. You don't see it in the clip right here, but in a minute it'll be different and you'll see what I actually did. So, for whatever reason, I decided that just dropping dollops of Mod Podge on the edges would work, and maybe it would, I don't know, because after I did all that, I then went back and painted all of the Mod Podge on to the triangles like I did right here. This part was definitely like the hardest part of the whole thing, but it was still pretty easy, it just took a bit of time. Basically is what I had done was I just like painted the Mod Podge over the edges of the triangles, and you just want to make sure you hold the triangle down, at least at first, just to keep it in place. As well as whenever like the edge of a triangle would come up, I would like scooch some Mod Podge under there and then go over it with the brush to just really help stick it down. And this ended up working very well. All the pieces stuck down really nicely, and then at the end I just Mod Podged over the whole thing just to lock everything in place and make sure everything was coated in Mod Podge and secure. Now that I'm editing this, I just realized that I never filmed the very last part of this video, which was just Mod Podging over the entire canvas, but that's pretty self-explanatory, so I think it's okay.